Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another 20th Century Geek Folio Society book review. Now, it's been a while since I did one of these last. In fact, the last one I did was an unboxing of The Exorcist, I believe. So, we're not doing an unboxing, because I've already unboxed it. I was given this as a gift for my birthday. And so, I'm going to be looking at their recent 2020 edition of Jurassic Park. Now, for many, this book is overshadowed by the film. The Steven Spielberg film from 1993 looms large in pop culture. It has created many iconic images and it sort of defined that name. It went on to become a multi-billion-dollar franchise. There are 5 films in, with a new film coming out at some point, possibly in the future. We'll see how films go. But this is the book that started it all, really, from Michael Crichton, and it's a great book. I mean, I will say it has a much darker tone than the film. The ending's slightly different. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there definitely has a different ending and a different beginning. There's a definite sense from the off that the dinosaurs of all sizes in this are dangerous and that this was a mistake. Crichton in himself sort of leans more into the science. He's definitely enamoured with the science and the possibility of the speculative science that he presents throughout this book, rather than some of the adventure and some of the dinosaurs. That's not to say this isn't a good book. I've read this book multiple times and I actually do really enjoy it. He wrote a follow-up, Lost World, which then tied into the follow-up Steven Spielberg film. Not as good, in all honesty. Gets confused between what was in the film and what wasn't in the film and what's in the book, so on and so forth. But anyway, this edition, first things first, let's talk about the presentation. The first thing about the presentation is this slipcase. Now you can't see it in this, I don't know if you can see it because of the light, but this is textured like a dinosaur's hide. Wonderful idea. The first thing I love about this is the fact that it's so creative, and the Folio Society always do great covers and stuff, but the other thing is really solid. But this textured look is ace, absolutely ace. I think it looks great, feels great. And so well done to them for that idea, because it could have been just plain simple brown case or whatever, but to have had that and to do that is a great idea. So the book itself, first things first, the cover. So again, in many cases we do get the art. We've had some of my favourites that they've done were the I Am Legend with Dave McKean art. Seriously stands up as an excellent piece of art across the board, and the cover on that is great. This is another one for me where they've taken the art and taken it to that next level. So all the artwork in this is done by Vector That Fox, usual name. Not an artist I know much about, but I will be finding out more now that I've sort of seen the images in this book. There are 6 internal images, as well as one for the title page, and then the cover itself. Now again, the cover leans into this idea that obviously we have the Velociraptors on the front and the back, and if you can just sort of see it, if you can catch some of the light, the Velociraptor there has a texture to it. They've gone for that sort of like lizardy skin feel again. Really good idea. Really makes it pop. Now, the one thing I will say about the art in this book and the art of Vector That Fox is that it's incredibly detailed. It's incredibly beautiful, well painted colouring. It has a comic book feel to it. Now, that sounds like I'm saying it as in a derogatory or as in a negative. It really isn't, because as you may note from some of the things around me, or if you watch any of the videos on this channel, I'm a bit of a nerd and comic books are kind of my thing. So the art in this book is great, but it is very comic booky, which is a bold choice, because there could be some that would be like, oh, I wanted a painted realistic depiction of this and that, blah blah. No, it's great. I think it looks fantastic. And it's a great creative choice. Another fantastic creative choice. However, and again, this is going to sound like a failing, and it's not. It could be for some. It could be for some. As I said previously, Jurassic Park, the film, stands large in the pop culture, and the images from that influence things. And case in point, they influence the art in this book. Now, the first thing to show you, the characters, sorry, the art pieces in this book are great. I can't see it, but if you just take that one into consideration, to see the T-Rex on that one, just to show it, it's hugely influenced by the design of the T-Rex from the film. Again, not a bad thing. So I take it that again the Velociraptors feel in a similar vein. Now they could have gone a very different design, a different texture, whatever. I'm glad they didn't. Really, I think this works. This feels like the source material honouring the legacy that came after. So this is Jurassic Park the novel with an amalgamation with what came from the films. That to me is great. So you've seen one image. I'm not going to spoil the rest. There are others. I might even spoil just one because there are some fantastic ones. There's one in particular that I love. Some of the bold choices. Here we go. But yeah, it's one of those books that I really do think. Okay, there we go. There is the very first one. So the little, dinosaurs, forget their names, over a baby's crib. It's eerie, it's well done, but it has a definite sort of comic book feel to it that I relate to. So I was really pleased with that. So, does it stand up as a book? Yes, I think it does. Does it stand up as an edition? It really does. Now, one thing I would say that I really love in this, and I'm really impressed with, is I had an edition of this, came out shortly after the film was released. That's how I was introduced to the book. I watched the film, then I watched the book. Then I read the book. And I had a paperback edition from the mid-90s, and the printing on it was very bog standard, very boring, very sort of the time. Paper quality wasn't great. And throughout this book there are diagrams and graphs and tables. As I said, Crichton, he's enamoured with the science and he wants to show you how it works. But one of the things in this that I remember not really being able to read particularly well in that original paperback edition, because the ink was sort of bleeding into the page and it just didn't work very well, was this part here. So in this back of this book there's some programming pages that's shown to me from a computer. Now I should say these it looks like an old computer screen. Like kids of today, you probably won't recognise some of the way these things are depicted. But that to me now is clear as crystal. The printing in this and the paper quality really stand up to those detailed diagrams, and it's wonderful to be able to see them in that light. So this is a fantastic edition. I really do think they've honoured the book, and it's a definite, really, it's a great addition to my library. I'm really happy with it. If you're a fan of Jurassic Park, seriously, check this out. For the price you're paying, it's a fantastic edition. It's a definite special edition, worth having. If you're just a fan of collecting science fiction, it stands there with many of those other sort of speculative monster science fiction genre, and I think Folio have done a great job. So well done, Folio, for that one. So there we go, review. I'm very, very happy with that. Can't complain. I think Folio have done it again. Wonderful book. What will we do next? Okay, well, that was off my birthday wish list, so that came in very soon. That's why it was a gift. Christmas is coming soon. I think, you're all hoping for something special. Well, I think I'm getting something special as well, because something else went off my wish list, and that was Sharpe's Tiger, the Folio edition of Sharpe's Tiger. Now, big fan of Sharpe. I read a lot of those books when I was younger. Really enjoyed them. Obviously watched the television series with Sean Bean. Again, seen the series, introduced to the books. But I hope this will be the first of many that Folio do. So I'm hoping to be giving a review of Sharpe's Tiger soon, by the end of the year. But if you've enjoyed this video, subscribe, click the bell. It's around in one of these corners somewhere, and let us know what you think in the comments below. Is there anything else that you think you'd want me to review? Any of the special editions, books or Blu-rays or anything like that? Leave a little comment below and we can do that. But also check out the other videos on this streaming site, but also my channel more importantly, and get in contact. But until we get back with Sharpe, thank you very much, and we'll talk again soon.